These three people are related. Now you may ask, how is this possible? They're from different movies. That just doesn't make sense. Oh, but it does. But first, welcome to the You Thought Plot, where I share my crazy theories about shows and movies that you know and love. Let's get into it. Now, in the Incredibles movie, we never see Frozone's wife, Honey. We only hear her voice in the Where's My Supersuit scene. But Pixar never shows us her face, tells us about her job, or told us anything about who she is. I believe I know who she is, but we'll get to that in a second. But first, did you guys realize that Frozone disappears towards the end of the Incredibles 2 movie? Did he just retire? Did he have to disappear? Now, I know there's an Incredibles 3 that's gonna come out soon, but this theory could have taken place after the fact. What if Frozone had to relocate? What if something happened to where his identity needed to be protected because it was revealed? What if his name was leaked? What if a villain or the government was after him? This would force Frozone and Honey to go completely off the grid and relocate, and they would have to change their names and identities to survive. Who could do all this for them on the DL? Edna mode. Frozone would turn to the only person who would be capable of helping him disappear. We all know her for her high-tech suits, as we talked about in the last theory. But what if she developed a new technology? I know I mentioned she was all about Botox. What if she learned to give herself Botox? And maybe even a permanent makeover? Now we know Edna goes above and beyond with everything. What if she was able to change Frozone's face? Just like in the movie White Chicks. You may be too young to know that movie. Your discretion advised. But what if it wasn't just cosmetics? What if it wasn't just Botox or facial enhancements? What if she had genetic modification technology so that she could alter face structures, body compositions, and even brain chemistry? What if she did this for Frozone? Now, if this theory were true, Frozone's superpower DNA would have to be rewritten. His powers would be erased, but not only that, it would have to be replaced because he has such a passion for saving the world. What if Frozone's favorite hobby was making music? Beneath saving the world, that is. What if that power was replaced with the drive and urge to become a musician? Now, Frozone is Ray Gardner. He becomes a musician in New York, and he and Honey relocate there. He starts his new life far away from the superhero world, and this change is permanent, but also affects his genetic code, which is passed down to his future children. And who is his future child? Joe Gardner. And this is why Joe doesn't have powers. But he inherits his father's rhythm and his timing and his love and drive to create music. Instead of controlling ice, music becomes Joe's superpower. Now, Honey, unlike Frozone, she never had to change her appearance. No one knew her face, no one knew her occupation, and she was not a superhero. What if she had a sewing business? So all she would have to do is change her appearance and continue her business in a different city. Now, this sewing business becomes the Gardner family's main source of income because Honey, which she's also known as Libby Gardner, loves her husband dearly, but knows that Frozone, also known as Ray Gardner, is not making enough money from music. Now, I know you may think this theory is crazy, but just think about Libby Gardner and Honey from The Incredibles. They both have the same type of sass and flair. But Honey, aka Libya, is an older woman now. In Soul, we can see that Honey, aka Libby Gardner, treats Joe, their son, with tough love because she wants him to find a stable career, unlike chasing music like his dad. Honey also wanted Frozone to stop chasing superhero danger, but he couldn't help it. So since she loved him, she tried everything in her power to help him and protect him. That's why when they had to move, she was the one making most of the income. Looking at the Soul movie, it seems like Libya hates music, but she's just afraid it will destroy her son, just like being a hero destroyed Frozone. She was afraid that he would end up broke, just like Frozone became when he started chasing music. Libya even has the same energy as she had with Frozone when they were young. She's loving but firm. Now, Frozone's transformation may have erased his powers, but not his essence or his drive. Frozone is determined and doesn't let anything stop him. And like father, like son, this is passed down to Joe. Joe is obsessed with music, probably even more than Frozone was. So much time has gone by, Frozone has passed away. But his legacy lives through Joe. Now, Pixar hasn't confirmed what happened to Frozone, and we don't know if he'll reappear in The Incredibles 3. It really doesn't debunk this theory because it could have happened further on. But it's just a theory. If you're still here, go ahead and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next theory.